When is it going to end? When is it going to end? That fear of the unknown, that doubt about that I'm up to the task of what's expected of me, that frustration about not being able to change my situation and feeling stuck. When is it going to end? My mentor Rob had a really good answer for me. He said, Ivan, that's going to end when you let go of your bullcrap excuses and that victim story. Welcome to another episode of Ivan Unleashed, coming at you from the Valley of the Sun in black and white, because I love to contrast darkness to light, good to great, false to true, black to white. I'm Ivan, and I'm about to go unleashed. There's a really wise woman, Terry Brady, who said that when we have belief, we look for solutions. When we have doubt, we look for escape. Keep that in mind. A really smart man, Albert Einstein, said that that the definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over again, you'd expect different results. So nobody wants to be guilty of that. We've heard that over and over again. So nobody wants to be guilty of doing the same thing over and over again and being insane. So we look for solutions in our life. We have belief that or at least we're psyching ourselves out that we have belief that we're looking for a solution, right? Because if you have belief, you look for solutions. So we look for the next pill, the next program, the next tool, the next toy, the next gadget, the next process, the next book, the next system, something to change our life, something that will make a difference. But here's the thing that we're doing over and over again. We're looking for something external. We're looking for something outside of ourselves to be the solution, when the solution all along was to own our circumstances. True. The results that I have in my life right now are directly based on the thinking that I have. If I want better results, I've got to get better thinking. If I'm looking for external solutions, then at no point am I looking in the mirror, then I'm looking for escape, like Terry Brady said, because I have doubt. Because I don't believe that I can do anything about it. But here's the funny thing about it. Once you own your circumstances, once you own it like 100%, it empowers us. It allows us to change things. And how do we change them? Like Rob said, that the facts don't count when you're chasing a dream. And what the reason this is so important is because you've got to have a dream. You've got to have a why, a reason that's compelling enough and belief enough to take action in spite of what we can call our paradigm, our lens, our view, our equation in our mind of how we process things. It's got to be strong enough to break through that. And the reason why is because we can have the greatest pill, the greatest system, the greatest information. It could be 100% correct, but we filter it through our lens, through our paradigm, through our equation, and we come out with the wrong answer. One that does not serve us or anyone else, and it keeps us stuck. So what's needed is a paradigm shift. A shift in the way that we see things, the way that we process information, and the way to do that is to have a dream and some belief enough to take action. What happens is when you take action because of a dream, when you have your why, it'll break through that emotional inertia, that mental inertia from our paradigm, and we'll take action anyway. And what happens is we see the result is not what we would have calculated or expected. And when we see that result, our equation can change. We make progress. We move forward. We grow. Now if all I want to do is be good at my job, and my job is specialized, assuming that the economy or the employer will allow for that. Great, that's fine. I don't need to do anything else. But if I want to play big, if I want to start my own business, if I want to be an entrepreneur, then you know what? The things that are going to matter, no technology will pinch hit for. We're talking about things like, how do I treat others when I'm having a bad day? How does having a bad day affect me? Does it affect my performance? Will I do the job anyway, do the work anyway? Or is it based on how I feel? How about this? How do I operate on faith whenever there's little fruit to show for my efforts? How do I do in that circumstance? Or is my why big enough to carry me through the ever-changing hows that can kick our butts? Are they? If they're not, I'm not judging anyone because I've been guilty as the rest of us. But if the answer to those questions leave you doubting, then it's time for a paradigm shift. Guys, that's how to do it. I know this is true. I love you. We don't need permission from anyone to win but ourselves, but it's going to take some better thinking and a paradigm shift. You got to have a why. You've got to have belief. I love you guys. If this meant something to you, share it, comment, click like, and I can't wait to share more with you soon. Coming at you in black and white. Have a great night.